Hi everyone, my name is Allison, and today I'm going to be teaching you the difference between a stretching exercise and a mobility exercise. So the first difference of a stretching exercise and a mobility exercise is the tissue that the exercise is targeting. Typically for a flexibility exercise, you're targeting muscle tissue, whereas with a mobility exercise, you're targeting a joint. So what is the goal of these exercises? Well, with targeting the muscle tissue, the goal of that exercise, a stretching exercise, would be to increase the length of the muscle. Now, with a mobility exercise, you're targeting joints. The goal is to increase the range of motion in those joints. Now, the third difference between a stretching exercise and a mobility exercise is the parameters of the exercise. Typically with the stretching exercise, let's example again, use the hamstring. You're going to stretch your hamstring and hold that position for at least 30 seconds. Whereas when you are doing a mobility exercise, you want to work into and out of that range with repetition so that you increase the range of motion at the joint. So think of the two bones, they're moving on each other. We want to repeat that motion so that those joints can gain more mobility. If you're working on gaining mobility in your spinal joints, your vertebrae, you may be doing a back bend. And that back bend, you're typically not going to hold it because you're targeting joints. So you want to move into that end range and out of that end range. For a mobility exercise, a good example that I like to give my patients is the example of a rusty hinge. When you're trying to get a rusty hinge moving, you're not just going to move it to its end range and leave it there. You're going to move it back and forth to break apart that rust and get that hinge moving. So there are some differences between a flexibility exercise and a mobility exercise.